From selling tamales and carnitas on the streets of East LA to cooking with some of the finest chefs around the world.
And I've learned so much, so many different techniques.
Now, this talented chef is crafting culinary creations in one of Austin's most innovative kitchens. Then, the big-time fisherman turned star chef in Houston who lured his future bride with oysters.
She was willing to eat her first oyster, which I think is a sign of true love.
And cook like an Italian in your own kitchen.
With a little pressure, very good.
Ravioli lessons from a celebrity chef. You'll want to nosh every last bite at this spot. Good Taste starts right now.
Hi everyone, welcome to Good Taste. I'm Tanji Patton. Welcome to South Austin, an eclectic spot where old meets new. Austinites will tell you it's 7870 forever. We've tapped into a trendy spot that fits right in. It boasts a chef who went from selling tacos in East LA to working with some of the best chefs in the world. It's all about big flavors on small plates at VOX Table. Giving you the chance to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that in a cool yet casual setting. Duck confit drenched in foie gras butter and sprigs of freshly picked watercress. The tiny garden is in the kitchen. Calamari noodles with roasted corn and Spanish chorizo. And have you ever seen bacon and eggs like this? It's grilled pork belly with a fried duck egg over broccolini. A fusion of French, Spanish, Basque, and American flavors from the wildly creative imagination of Chef Joe Anguiano. And it's more shareable plates, right?
Yeah, this is more shareable plates. I like the whole concept of having shareable plates. It's for me, I get really bored easily, so I like, when I'm eating, I like to be tasting different things. I like to have those little dishes. I like to be picky.
So here you can have it all. It's really good. Joe's passion for cooking and food goes all the way back to his childhood and his grandmother's tortilleria in East Los Angeles.
On the weekends, we would open to the public and we would sell tamales and carnitas and menudo. I was always around, and my aunts and my mom and my grandmother would be around, and we'll be making all types of food for the weekend. And so I was always there. So that was part of my inspiration, you know. That's what got me going. That's what got me excited about getting into the culinary field.
That led to culinary school and a long list at some of the finest kitchens in the world, including the Michelin-star Zuberoa in Spain, Montrachet, and the famed Le Cirque in New York with renowned chef Remy Lavant before landing here in Austin. You've learned and picked up different cuisines from all over the world, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky. I worked under some really, really great chefs.
That depth of experience has led to clever creations like this. Striped sea bass swimming on sweet potato puree, crowned with a squid ink cracklin. I've never had this and I'm dying to try it.
So it's like a little aerated, little fishiness, but it's not overpowering. People
it's pleasant fishiness.
Pleasant, yeah.
The textures are terrific, and so are the layers of flavor in every dish, especially in this smoked hamachi pipette. It's seafood that just sucked through a straw.
So on the bottom of the pipette, we have coconut soy dressing. And then right above it, you have a pickled cucumber. In between the pickled cucumber and the tomato raisin, we have a thin slice of Thai chili, smoked hamachi.
And get this, for texture, Joe adds bits of soy crackers and good old corn nuts with bursts of flavor from micro-herbs, tiny Japanese mint and cilantro.
It really makes the hamachi pop out when you have it all together.
Okay, so you're going to demonstrate. Show me how we do these.
All right, so this is how the customer receives the dish. And basically what our waiters tell them or instruct them, pretty much just pick up the pipette.
Okay.
And then just put everything in your mouth, except for the bottom part of the tube.
Okay.
And
And suck out the juice as well?
And just squeeze the tube.
That's really good. VOX Table isn't just about the delicious plates for your table. Cocktails here share the spotlight. One in particular is getting more airtime than the others. So you have a drink that's become well known in these parts.
Yeah. It's the Tom Selleck's Mustache.
The Tom Selleck's Mustache.
Yeah.
Turns out the idea was hatched with friends during a night out. And at the time, it sounded like a really good idea to find
It sounded
out.
hilarious, yeah. And the next day I was like, well, that was too funny, and I started testing out drinks and thought, coffee, smoke, whiskey,
Yeah.
Tom Selleck's Mustache.
Yeah, okay, let's see what you do. And we've got some taste testers here.
We're gonna drop in a few of Jim Beam bourbon barrel chips. And what this does,
Bourbon barrel chips?
yeah. So usually people use this for like the barbecue, you just smoke, brisket
Yeah.
and Jim Beam barrel. We're gonna use it to smoke our glass.
What comes next is pretty dramatic.
Take a nice little torch here, and we're gonna kind of light it up. And once you kind of get a nice char on it is when you're gonna put the glass right over it to extinguish the flame.
Okay, so I would imagine people are freaking out at the bar when they see the torch come out, right?
You do this for every drink.
Every single time. For every drink, this Tom Selleck, yes. And we do a table side at the bar.
It's a show.
It's a show.
What an experience. You were an artist.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
That was
this guy's
like-
good.
Scared and excited. Cheers.
To Tom Selleck's Mustache.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Smoky.
Yeah.
Smoky for sure.
First
Smoky.
taste, smoky.
So you think Tom Selleck's Mustache?
I mean, can you see my mustache growing, Tanji?
Actually, to be honest, this is surprisingly smooth. When
Yeah.
you think of whiskey, you think of like, oh, it was potent. This
Yeah,
is delicious.
and it's 100 proof, so it'll
Wow.
yeah,
Bottoms up.
So I'm
it'll knock
done.
you out.
So drink slowly, or strange things might happen.
I'm really feeling it.
Coming up, the perfect pasta from a celebrity chef.
This is like a pasta sheeter.
Seeing if I can trip you up.
But next, we're sailing into H-Town for sensational seafood from a first-class chef who was a fisherman first.
I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was a kid.
We'll save you a seat at the chef's table when Good Taste continues. Good things come from Cisco. People from around the world travel to Houston to get great seafood. And day after day, it's served up at Reef, fresh from the Gulf and crafted and created by the one and only Chef Bryan Caswell. Being in the spotlight is nothing new for Chef Bryan Caswell. This Houston Stars chef made a splash on shows like the Food Network's Next Iron Chef, Top Chef, and others in between.
He always does something very unique with the menu, and it's all about the food, which is what I like.
Caswell's very popular seafood restaurant Reef is often in the spotlight too, winning rave reviews for its fresh seafood from around the globe. Despite the fame, Caswell still knows his way around a redfish. Or just about any other type of fish for that matter.
I was a fish butcher long before I was a cook.
This chef also knows how to reel in a crowd with his fresh take on that fresh seafood.
The locally sourced and the freshness of the food, to me, you can't beat it.
Reef is a bright and airy space in shades that remind you of the sea, a spot that serves more than 60 different species of seafood, all infused with a sophisticated tour of flavors from across the globe. A whole roasted Gulf red snapper topped with shallots, candied ginger, and cherry tomatoes, garnished with fresh cilantro and mint, and a lemongrass broth. Or this colorful crudo, made with ocean fresh cobia and Asian pear, glistening in a glaze of spicy chili oil and pecan pesto. Still hungry? How about this eye-popping double-cut pork chop, marinated overnight in a mojo-style brine, then slow-smoked and grilled to perfection? Just a small sample of the incredible cuisine that keeps earning Reef accolades and helped put Houston's culinary scene on the map.
What did being named best seafood restaurant in the country by Bon Appetit do for you guys?
And that was the first time that I stood up and I was like, well, maybe this is bigger than what I thought. I was just trying to serve guests and have them come back because they had a good time.
What keeps them coming back is incredibly well-prepared seafood, no doubt influenced by Caswell's deep connection to the sea.
Before I started cooking, I was a fisherman. I fished from Apalachicola to Brownsville and everywhere in between when I was growing up. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was a kid. This was my first love.
He grew up in Houston, fishing with his dad and cooking what he caught, eventually leading him to a culinary career and exotic ports of call.
I worked for 9 years outside of Houston in Hong Kong, Bangkok, New York, the Bahamas, and then Barcelona, and every place I was by the sea.
Those international flavors are now infused in the cuisine by the chef who's also made bycatch a buzzword.
So if somebody's not going to eat snapper, then they'll eat triple tail, they'll eat cobia, they'll eat almaco jack, they'll eat, all these different porgies that we have, or drum or whatever. So that's a bite of fish that's not one of these fish that need a break.
You can feel his passion for protecting the Gulf.
If I had to choose between being able to serve something in a restaurant and for my child and myself or my grandchild being able to catch that thing and eat it, I would choose the latter, because that's what brought me here. Without that, this doesn't exist.
Yeah, you have a very strong emotional connection.
No doubt.
Deep down, don't you?
I mean, I love it. I mean, it's, my wife and I, our entire life is connected to the Gulf and everything in between here and there and all up and down.
The Reef is pretty special to us. We actually got engaged here.
Wow!
It's also a special place for Caswell's wife, Jennifer, who found love and her first oysters on the half shell here at Reef.
The second date was here at the restaurant where I served her oysters, and I just found out 2 weeks ago that was the first time she ever ate oysters.
We had a tray full of oysters. I was like, I'm not eating those. That day I didn't want to look like a weenie, so I went ahead and I swiped one down.
So she choked them down and acted like she loved them. I hope she did.
What we do for love.
They still make date night a priority. Jennifer, a photographer and blogger, now manages marketing and social media for the restaurant. She also champions a crusade of her own.
We are currently raising money for Gulf Coast charities so that we can help preserve the coast for our children and our children's children and everybody else.
A resource well worth protecting, especially when you see that remarkable redfish on the menu.
Over the back.
It's a skill he learned on those fishing trips way back when. This fish is oiled and seasoned with a special house blend of spices before going on a super hot grill.
We're gonna add a couple of slices of lemon like that.
He covers it to create convection and seal in moisture.
So we're gonna add some of this butter as we go. It's gonna smoke. So it's kind of a grill, smoke, bake kind of scenario.
It's based with butter and topped with fresh thyme, then plated with a decadent side of fried mac and cheese.
It was just fabulous. It's really a nice place.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, we love it.
What's not to love with beautiful food like this? Coming up, my wine finds. But next, ravioli lessons from a celebrity chef. Stay with us. Good Taste with Tanji is brought to you in part by H-E-B. It's the best of both worlds at Silo Elevated Cuisine in San Antonio, where dining upstairs is upscale with awe-inspiring American classics. Downstairs at Nosh, a cozy Italian-style neighborhood bistro with sensational salads, pastas, shareable plates, and those amazing truffle fries.
They're very good.
One of the things that we had tonight was the chicken fried oysters, and they were absolutely amazing.
Plus, there's a nightclub next door at the Silo Bar. So much excitement under one roof. Back at Nosh, it's a cozy, modern trattoria with exposed brick and a small open kitchen.
We love Nosh. This is a neighborhood place. We come here about 2 or 3 times a month.
Sure, regulars like the laid-back feel at Nosh, but the star chef is also an attraction. Chef Luca Della Casa was a finalist on Food Network Star.
Oh, whoa.
It's good, right?
Yes, it's like garden fresh. I mean, these flavors are amazing.
Amazing flavors indeed. Whether you're nibbling on the wild boar pizza, layered with roasted tomatoes, red onions, braised wild boar, fresh mozzarella, and chive-infused sauce.
How much you like it?
Oh, I love it.
Or noshing on the rustic maltagliati pasta with Spanish chorizo, sautéed onion, fresh spinach, and a rustic house-made pasta, showered with fresh Parmesan. Or my favorite, the signature shrimp salad.
So this is the dish I get pretty much every time I come for lunch.
Yeah, you know this very well.
A simple yet zesty creation with farm-fresh tomatoes, cucumber, basil, and a red vinaigrette.
Going back for more.
Good choice.
When I think of you, I see you in an Italian kitchen, and not a giant kitchen, but just something cool and cozy and just doing your thing. And that's, to me, kind of what Nosh is.
Patrick Richardson, when he asked me to come enjoy the Silo family, he told me, I have Nosh, there is a beautiful space, you know, it's like a white canvas for you. I want you to come in and express your type of food.
That's Italian-inspired, simple yet fresh flavors, prepared to perfection.
This is, I guess, an appetizer.
Yes, correct.
But it is, there's so much flavor, and it's fresh too. The tomatoes, the zucchini.
Absolutely. I think that the secret is that we're trying to use a different product through the menu, a lot of vegetables that make it different, you know, one dish from the other. And at the same time, we try to stay authentic Italian.
A fresh take on old world tastes, no doubt inspired by Luca's hometown, Torino, Italy.
The passion for cooking was born when I was grown enough where I was seeing my family cooking a lot at home and interacting a lot with family and friends, hosting all the time.
Those family meals inspired Luca to pursue a culinary career, working his way up from dishwasher to line cook.
I started from the very beginning, peeling potatoes, you know, and vegetables.
And ultimately to executive chef, eventually landing in San Antonio, where Luca and his wife have adopted a few hairy kids.
Finally, when I set up here, I was like, now I'm gonna start, you know, growing my pack. I always been in love with dogs, and now we get 5.
Luca is the leader of the pack upstairs at Silo 2, where world-class cuisine takes center stage, starring super fresh seafood flown in from Hawaii, and mouth-watering prime steaks, topped here with grilled Maine lobster on a bed of farm-fresh sautéed veggies.
We offering like a contemporary American menu, you know, great seafood, great steak offering, and beautiful dessert that we've been carrying over the years, like the coconut pie.
I got a ravioli lesson from the master, starting with the dough, made with 4 simple ingredients: eggs, olive oil, flour, and salt.
And with the rolling pin, you want to just create like a sort of rectangular shape.
You wanting me to do this?
Yeah, it's very easy.
Luca folds the sides in to create a straight edge and runs it through the pasta press, over and over and over, until it reaches the right thinness.
And what do you call this?
This is like a pasta sheeter.
Seeing if I can trip you up.
Yeah, oh gosh, I know. We want to push it down a little bit and make space for the filling. And at the same time, we try to anchor the dough to the edges of the ravioli.
We filled it with lobster. One more roll, and we've got ravioli.
Look at that.
You can separate them and toss them in boiling water. They're gonna be cooked in 5 minutes and ready to go in your sauce.
Simple, fresh, and delicious. Just the way Chef Luca wants every meal to be, whether you nibble at Nosh or dine in style up at Silo.
Food brings us all together.
Absolutely.
Food, a good glass of wine, we're there.
Salud.
Time for my wine finds of the week, and one of you challenged me to find some really good Pinot Noirs for less than $20 a bottle. I'm up to the challenge. I've got some great ones to show you today. And we're going to start out with a wine from the Willamette Valley in Oregon, one region that's known for producing incredible Pinot Noirs, and this one is one of them. It's called Primarius. It means distinguished. This is a Burgundian-style wine, meaning it's a lighter-bodied Pinot with bright flavors of cherries, hints of baking spices, earthy notes, and mushrooms. This wine's lively acidity makes it very easy to pair with all kinds of food, even fish. Up next, a wine I'm really excited about. This is the Rihanna 3-County Pinot Noir. This wine comes from California. It's a silky wine, and it reminds me of juicy Bing cherries, boysenberries. It bursts with flavor, and then a little hint of vanilla on the finish. Again, a wonderful Pinot Noir. It too pairs with a variety of foods, and the price point on this bottle is about $19. Okay, last but not least, a well-respected producer all the time, Frank Family Wines. This is their Pinot Noir. This too is a fuller bodied Pinot with classic aromas, black cherries and raspberries. On the palate on this wine, you'll even get a little hint of blueberries. It's a good Pinot. As always, I found all the wines at HEB. Find out next how you could win a relaxing weekend at the beautiful Houstonian Hotel and Spa. How about a weekend away, complete with spa treatments? This could be your chance. Head to goodtaste.tv right now and sign up for a chance to win a luxurious weekend at the Houstonian, complete with spa treatments for you and a guest at the beautiful, award-winning Trellis Spa. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Good Taste with Tanji. Follow me on Twitter at Tanji Patton and on Instagram at Good Taste TV. And as always, if you missed any of this week's show, you can get it online at goodtaste.tv. Have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers to good taste.